The Berta Perspective. This week's most exciting controversial issues, trending stories, hot off the press, local and international, personalities, socialites, sports and entertainment highlights. All this from the Berta Perspective. What is good? Thank you so much for tuning into the Berta Perspective. My name, of course, is Roberta. Now, I'm going to be telling you all about what's happening, what's trending, what's good, and what is not. So it's all about what's happening in Botswana and the rest of the world. So let us first talk about our Paralympic athletes. So it all started with Sir Ludwig Goodman, who organized the sporting competition for veterans with spinal cord problems, and that was the inception, the official inception of what we now call Paralympics. And of course, we've got two amazing athletes that are representing us in Tokyo. That is, of course, Gloria Majaga and the Tiger Man himself. That is Edwin Masuche. So my main issue with this is that as much as we are proud of them as a nation, we're not showing them the same support that the Olympians and World Championship competitors were actually getting. So I believe that we actually have a problem with integrating the disabled into our society. Like, let me ask you a question. Look at the buildings in Botswana. How many buildings have you seen with the ramps for wheelchairs in this country? And a lot of times these elevators are actually not working in a whole lot of buildings, and that is quite disappointing that in this day and age, people with wheelchairs and other types of problems cannot really move around easily or go to offices by themselves just because our buildings are not friendly to them. So this message is to all of you guys. 50, 500, 5,000. As we know that because of COVID-19 protocols and the like, there's a lot of things that have been set back. So I was actually taking a walk and I passed my old driving school instructor. Every time what is going on and where are all the students? Just like the way I used to dodge. But he proceeded to open up to me to tell me that a lot of things had been closed, particularly the driving tests, of course, the cone test, as well as the actual driving test on the road as well. So this is something that he told me that was very difficult for him as a driving school instructor, saying that he's making some big losses because of what is happening. Unfortunately, this is a very difficult time, but I want to say to all of you guys, even though it's not really open right now, I would suggest that you guys still go to driving school just to practice so that. But what I don't get is that my brother is actually in Mount currently, and he actually managed to go and get tested in Mount. So I don't understand if it's a Gaborone thing or if it's the rest of the country or if it's a regional thing. But I will say that, the economy is tough for a whole lot of people right now, including people in the transporting sector. Well, not just taxi drivers, but clearly driving school instructors as well. So I'm utterly disappointed, disgusted, and disdained at the level of mockery that a 20-year-old mother and her child were receiving because the child actually has progeria. Progeria, also known as Benjamin Button disease. So this is a genetic disorder that causes a human's lifespan to be cut short immensely and makes the child age very, very rapidly. So the lifespan that is expected of any child is 12 to 13 years, sometimes 14 years. But of course, miracles have happened with some progeria victims living up to about 20 years. So unfortunately, this event happened, and it is a very, very rare condition. And while it happened, a lot of people found it funny and they thought that it was something to laugh about. A lot of people called the baby many, many names. And this is utterly disappointing that the human race, while we're fighting so many things in life and in the world, that we still have a chance and an opportunity to laugh at things that are this sad. You know what? I'm so sorry for calling you out. Actually, I'm not. I think that we need to take better steps as human beings because we've ruined enough things. This is our environment. This is our healthcare system. This is our economies. The last thing that we need to be doing is to call a baby ugly that had no choice in their looks and has actually got a lifespan that has been cut short by so many years. So I think that this is something that we should all open our eyes up to and do better as a human race. So a recent article by the CNN stated that China is actually banning video games for kids during the week. This is, of course, to combat addiction. So a lot of parents are saying, yes, this is good. But are you not addicted to your phone? I mean, what is the first thing you do when you wake up? And what is the last thing you do before bed? And hey, listen, what do you do when you're supposed to be focused on doing your work at work? you're on your phone checking your social media. So while China's doing this for the kids, I think that it is time that you probably do it for yourself and limit the amount of time that you spend wasting on productivity as well. So while we're proud of what China is doing, do it to yourself too, man. You also have your own weakness. I mean, come on. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget, stop being addicted to your phone. You're controlling yourself. Remember to be kind to people because people don't choose the conditions that they're in. Be friendly to everybody, including the disabled. And I can't wait to see you guys next time for my next episode because it's gonna be lit. So see you next time, of course, on the Berta Perspective. The Berta Perspective.